magazine you watch.
So, you want to be a model, huh?
In this issue, industry insiders share the ups and downs of the male modeling biz. Get the scoop from superstars David Bowles, Sam Alderson, John Foster, Hoyt Richards, Gary Allegretto, and Marcus Schenkenberg. But first, what do the industry bigwigs look for?
You know, the modeling business is a very peculiar business, but it's a very professional business. You have to want to make it a career. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of willpower to look good every day.
All the models I know, the male models I know, there are only 10 good ones. The other ones are good looking, they're excellent for pictures, fantastic, very photogenic, but they're on runway, forget it. Because they don't know what the suit is, because they're wearing t-shirts all the time and jeans, which is their life, which is natural. But it's not enough to have a fantastic face and a good body if you don't have the style to interpret it somehow, what you're wearing, you know. It's not Bermudas or surfing look. If you wear a tuxedo, you have to feel it. It doesn't happen so often with the boys.
The way we pick models is really about how they fit the clothes, their personality, because I like the energy to project to the audience.
And one guy who projects a lot of energy is rising supermodel David Bowles.
I was doing landscaping and construction labor in Atlanta, Georgia, and several of my friends suggested that I should check out the modeling business. And through certain means, I hooked up with an agency in Atlanta, Georgia, Legent, and I did a couple tests with them, and like a week later, Bruce Weber saw some pictures and flew me up to New York. I did my first real modeling job for Interview magazine. Never really considered it, you know, considered the industry. I was much simpler, and I wasn't a fashion freak. I never followed fashion that much. I was Levi's and work boots and t-shirts. Actually, it's fun. I guess I've always been kind of a show-off for a hand. You know, I just get up there and relax and walk and put on kind of the game face, whatever, however the clothes make me feel, depending on what designer I'm working for, what kind of clothes I'm wearing, however they make me feel. That's the kind of image I portray. I'm really a laid-back type of person. I read, I listen to music, I have a guitar. I was an athlete all through high school and in college, and 2 years ago when I moved to Atlanta, I was doing a labor type of job every day. So, you know, that was very physical and helped keep myself in shape. Right now, just the running around is enough for me. If I get time to work into an exercise program, it'd be a miracle. It's tricky. You just have to be smart. You have to know yourself really well. You know, don't let people get you doing things that you don't feel comfortable with. You know, if you're comfortable with yourself, and I think if you can be yourself and relax in front of the camera or on a runway, it's a great industry.
Usually it takes a few tries to get started. For these lucky few, it just sort of happened.
I went to Los Angeles for vacation, and somebody asked me in the street, and that's it.
I was at USC, and my picture was on my girlfriend's wall. And somebody that was going to do one of those calendars, they had those beefcake calendars in the, I guess it was the early 80s. And they saw it, and they said, let's put you on the cover of one of them. It was called Looking Good, Men of USC.
I was working in a hotel. I was with a girlfriend of mine who was a model, and I went to her agency. I used the bathroom. I said, who are you? I'm Dave. Who are you? You know, and I got a job, so.
For Sam Alderson, instant success was about a year in the making. But now, he's even been called the male Cindy Crawford.
I was dating a girl that was 1984 Miss Illinois. She introduced me to an agency in Chicago called Elite, and I was there for about 3 months. I met an agent from Paris, from an agency called PH1, and he asked me to come over to Paris to do the men's collections. And I used to have hair, long hair down to here when I first started. And I went over to Paris, and for about a year and a half, I didn't make any money. I ended up cutting my hair off, and that's when I started making money. There's other different aspects of me other than just being a model. And I'm also kind of involved in my church, as I was telling you before, which is a neat thing because it's also a homeless organization. I used to ride my bicycle, which is in the bag right there. But normally the gym, I've been working out at the gym probably for 6 years. And I was actually a kind of a chubby little kid. I think the best way for somebody to get started in modeling is to have someone find you, because a lot of times you, when you pursue something, you don't always have an objective viewpoint. And it's a very weird business because you could look at somebody on the street and you would think they're not a very attractive person, but you put them in front of a camera and they have an incredible personality and they have a charisma or a character that comes out, and somebody has caught that on film, they're going to make an incredible amount of money, but you would normally think that they're a model. The advice I would give to somebody that wants to pursue a career is to go into an agency without pictures. Don't take any pictures. Just go into the agency and ask them if they think, you know, that you have the ability to make money.
The agency is where it all happens for a model. His agent books him for jobs, does his PR, and provides a bit of much-needed respite during his most hectic periods. And one of the busiest models working today is native New Yorker John Foster.
Went to college in upstate New York and went down to Pensacola, Florida with the Navy for 4 years. And I was waiting to go to medical school at an 8-month wait. I kind of on vacation. And after 4 months, I decided to take an agency down there up on their offer for some extra work. Then I got an offer to go to Italy, to Milan, and went there, still intending to go to medical school, but it went well. And so when I came back, I decided to try this business for a while. I never knew anything of the fashion business. I'm still not fashion-oriented. I mean, I wear the clothes, but I'm more of a country, beach, mountain person. It was funny because the first few pictures, I mean, I was so nervous in front of a camera. I was basically shy and pretty stiff. And I can see a big change between then and now. Even now, sometimes, a lot of jobs, it's a challenge. You know, it can become very creative, sometimes it's demanding. But now I've become, so I feel more comfortable with the camera, the people, so it's enjoyable. I'm a very adventuresome type person, so I love like riding motorcycles in dirt, and flying planes is exhilarating. I mean, I still miss it if I think about it right now. I take things a day at a time, and now I live like kind of a spiritual life in a lot of ways. I would advise anyone to start with an agent, say a local agent, and then from there try and get into New York or Paris and in Milan if you want. But New York and Paris are the biggest centers for fashion right now for men. And the reason I say start with an agent in local areas because I see many guys come into New York and knock on the door and say, I want to be a model. Just the mentality of the agencies, generally they prefer to have like a phone call. It gives them a mindset before the person arrives. So it's a good way to get your foot in the door. But getting with the right agencies and the agency that's going to work best for you and with you is, I think, one of the most important things.
Backstage rehearsals for some shows rival those of Broadway in their complexity. But while they certainly get the glory, these stars typically only earn about $1,000 a show, not much compared to the staggering $10,000 many of their female counterparts earn. And while many female models have become household names, even male models that have earned the title supermodel are not as well known to those outside the industry. However, thanks in part to the men in this program, insiders believe big salaries and recognition are in the near future. Now meet HOYT Richards, whose many years in the industry have earned him a place at the top.
I spent a year going to school in England, and then I was graduated from Princeton University in 1985. And there I played football, and actually it was there where I got hurt. I injured my shoulders, and I came up here to New York to see a shoulder specialist, and that's really how I got in this business, purely by chance. It was, something that when I decided to do it, did not go over very well at all with the family. My dad's immediately giving me the doubting Thomas look of all time, and the ironic thing about it was I was still at university then, and I was working for Ralph Lauren, and they were looking for an older model. And as it worked out, I ended up recommending my father, and he's been modeling just a year less than I have. So what originally was not something to do at all, now he's probably, as much of a veteran as I am. I've got a construction business I started with a couple of buddies of mine. I really enjoy that. We had that down in North Carolina. We're building very, like small, elegant log cabins. Diet's the most important thing, I find. I can't work out like I'd love to, I find that for me it's just a matter of really trying to do something every day. My football coach taught me, earn your shower. So every day I try to do something before I get in that damn shower that breaks the sweat. But the thing that I'm best at, which I really believe strongly in, is diet and proper nutrition, food combining, that sort of stuff. It's so easy to get good at something and you're comfortable, and then that's all you do, and you start limiting yourself. And I'm trying to push myself in as many areas as possible so that I can really, improve to whatever I can be. And there's always room for improvement. I certainly know that.